and go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll take those reactions.
On Friday, 6:30. Tree that comes from pure Ghanaian gold, then you need to rush to Gold Board Jewelry stores today, because that's where you get these aesthetically woven and, properly made gold ornaments. And so, yes, you want to identify as purely Ghanaian, truly indigenous, that's where you should be headed to. Diamond House, Kimbu Road, Oxford Street in Osu, Otele Avenue in East Legon, Marina Mall, Spintex Community 11 in Tema, Ampoma Arcade in Kumasi, and Prempeh the First International Airport in Kumasi. That's where you can locate the Gold Board Jewelry stores. Get in there, rush now, and get any of their properly made, crafted, authentic Ghanaian gold. Now, we are still in the month of February. We've just started beautifully, and there are various ways you can tell that person, that special someone, that you really truly care. And one of those ways is to make sure that you get a person a timepiece. And if you're looking at timepieces, watches, then look no further than Caveman erotica watches. Now, they are forged for the bold and worn by those who understand that luxury is not loud, but it's very, very deliberate. So every curve, every finish, every measured second speaks to intimacy, power, and unapologetic self-expression. And so that's what Caveman Erotica Watches is all about. It's for the man who does not chase attention, but he rather commands it. For the woman who understands that elegance can be seductive. And for those who know the luxury is not about excess, but about presence. So quickly, get your Caveman Erotica watches now by visiting www.cavemanwatches.com or call or WhatsApp 055-855-2046 to purchase yours. So let me come back to the studio. Before we went on that break, and Ishak was really on fire, saying that, well, there's no Baumia camp, there's no Ken camp, there's no Kwabena Japan camp, is NPP, and so the unity agenda will clearly be an easy one. They would be able to get everybody on board to push the agenda for 2028. But let me come back to you, Richard. I mean, he says you should have congratulated it.
Yes, I would like to take this opportunity to remind my senior brother that as a party, United Party, we have actually congratulated Dr. Baumia and congratulated the NPP as a whole for the great showmanship of having a successful election without any sort of acrimony and without any sort of severe chaos. But like I said, the ultimate credit also goes to the Ghana Police Service for doing a yeoman job. So we congratulate them. This is democracy.
Ishak, I hope you're okay.
This is democracy, and we want the best.
Don't add criticism.
We want the best for
my
them.
point.
We want the best for them. But let me go back to the issue at hand.
Yes.
You see, Baumia, Dr. Baumia is a product. It's a product. Now, as the product, NPP is more or less like a marketing company who is mandated to market a product called Dr. Baumia.
Right.
Therefore, if you are going to market a product, you need to do what we call SWOT analysis. You need to understand the strength, the weakness, the opportunities, and the threat that associates with this very product. And if you should do a proper SWOT analysis of Dr. Baumia, I can say that per what happened during the mandate given to him and Nana Akufo-Addo to lead this country, his weaknesses outweighs his strength.
But isn't the fact that he has become a former vice president, doesn't that help him to address those things?
No. If you are a former vice president, like I keep saying, he made a clear case that maybe I'm not a lawyer, but the Constitution says that the power is vested in what?
The president.
In the president.
Yes.
In the absence of the president, who takes over? In the absence of the president, who is the power shifted to?
His vice.
His vice. His vice. So they are co-equal in as much as we believe that in the presence of the president outweighs the vice president. But you don't go into picking a vice president who you don't believe that his ideas can augment yours, because you say it is not embedded in only one man's brain. That's why to be a successful leader, it is not about you. It's the people you surround yourself with that will determine whether you become a successful leader or not.
Right.
It's the same qualities you need for the vice president, because nobody can tell me that, because the vice president position doesn't matter, excuse me to say that I am going into an election, then I go and pick a Kayaye in Accra to come and be my running mate because he or she doesn't matter. It is not like that.
Right.
He matters so much because he's going to be the face of the country at any international platform. He goes to meetings on behalf of the country. That's why they make you the head of the economic management team. Is that not the case? You are a head of the police commission. So there are some key mandates that have been given to you, key responsibilities that are enshrined on that service as the vice president. So we cannot claim that the vice president position is not relevant enough. Therefore, today we should take all the blame that anything went wrong and heap it on the president. But anything that is good, you say that one there, we should heap it on the vice president. Because the president himself told us that there are 31 policies that they introduced, which were championed by what? Dr. Bobby. Haven't you seen the video? Haven't you seen it? That Nyansani, Dr. Bamia, he was the one who championed it. So like I said, in the SWOT analysis and the market aspect of it, that you need to persuade us. As for your MPP core base, they are there. Are you getting my point? Whether you do anything for them, whether if you like, don't even go and campaign at all. Your MPP performing there, those who gave you the 38%, they are there already. They will vote for you, good or bad. But don't forget that none of the two major parties has a base good enough to cross the 50% threshold. So the likes of others who are neutrals, who are looking for substance and value in a product, they will want to look at the core benefit, the product performance. Are you getting my point? The product performance is very key. So now MPP, they have become like an onion. Okay? They are now like an onion. On the face of it, they look like they are is together. Okay? But when you split it, you realize that the inside is so what? Fragmented. So for us, we wish them well. But you see, in as much as we wish them well, we know they are going to present him to lead this country. That's why we are saying that the caliber of person he is and what he is proposing to do for us, there are so many things he promised, that the 1 million, one constituency, the one district, one factory, the what do you call it, one village, one down. No, but Mia has said several things that if you want to measure him by the things he said, he stands no chance. Okay. But we wish them well. Okay. And we wish the NDC too well. But we are still saying that whoever the NDC even bring, now MP has brought Dr. Bawumia, Alan still stands a better chance than any of them. But nevertheless, when the government is in power, it is difficult for you to win them. And then the last bit of it, my brother said something that, oh, Mohammmed, the current president, Dr. Mohammmed, has been rejected twice. Don't forget that when he was rejected, the first time that he lost by that huge margin, you remember the 2020 election, he narrowed the gap, he closed it, he entirely closed it. But because they were in power, they used power machineries to outsmart NDC. So if John Mohammed's vote had dwindled further in 2020, they would have made a case for what they are saying. But if the man was able to close the gap, when you tag him incompetent and did all things he could do, but he still did what? Narrow the gap. Okay. The Akufo-Addo was only fortunate. Akaka and would have been a one-term president.
Okay, let me come to you.
Quick one.
Quick one.
Yes, the NDC's, the party has issued congratulatory message. So I don't see why, as a lawyer,
he said he wants it from you.
Why we need to, I mean, we need to belabor the point and flog a dead horse. Number two, why was Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia brought in and all the circumstances changed quickly for him, who was not even a card-bearing member, to be made a running mate? Because they said he was the economic messiah. There's a popular video that trends every time. What a solid team. Jambafo. Oseya Koto, Yaosafo Mafo, Alantre Mantin. What a solid team. When was the last time you saw the NDC's economic management team? And who was the head of the economic management team? The one that is being brought today, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. And he led us to a zone that recently at a program where I attended a first Kaidia program, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama said, someone asked him, which God did you pray to that things are changing this good? Go and pray to that God again. And he's telling us that they foresaw that Ghana is going to be good in 2025.
Because of the policies they had outlined in the previous year.
Really? And you waited until 2024 before putting in those policies for us to harvest in 2025. Look, in 2024, if Ghana were a car that has been involved in an accident, it would have been written off. Things were so bad. Have you noticed that of late there's so much traffic in town? And they're saying that it's because truck drivers. That's not the issue. The issue is fuel prices are low. So people who park their cars are now driving. He sat here one day when they were introducing the 1 cedi per gallon.
Yes.
He told us fuel prices will skyrocket
Per liter.
per liter. I have been waiting for him to call me to say that I think my projections have not come to fruition. Okay?
He has not called you.
He can't call me. Recently, we have been told that a can of malt is more expensive than a liter of petrol. And they had all those projections. If this had happened under Nana Akufo-Addo recently, even the Man United beating Arsenal, it would have been a reason for another tax in Ghana. Let's face it. Recently, just about a week or two ago, Napo, in a video, said that when he since the time he was attending cabinet meetings, almost all the brilliant ideas were brought there by no other person than the person who he was to partner. Today, you sit here to tell us that he was a vice president, the person himself who told us that fastia, no mami, because I have done the work and I have the experience to continue. And you are today telling us that he was just a mere vice president, a common vice president. So we should forget about it. The person who has never been president but was telling a president that he was incompetent, it means he knows what is competency. And today you are telling us this. So somebody who describes somebody as incompetent and does not understand what is competency should go and tell the Marines. But I'm going to tell you, congratulations for bringing Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Kodjo, he said we should congratulate him for what? You were to go and vote and go home. You didn't go to fight. You were not to go and fight where you didn't fight well. You were to go there, vote, go home, wait for the result. And you said I should congratulate you for going there and not fighting.
For having an event-free election.
You were supposed to have an event-free election.
In the first place.
In the first place. So if you go there and you didn't do any event, you didn't go fighting, you say I should congratulate you for not misbehaving when you are not supposed to misbehave in the first place. I won't do that. I won't do that. So don't pass yourself. You see, all that he's telling us is that he told us here today that they are the most democratic. I don't know why they still use those expressions. They still use them. Before the election, we had the police investigating tamperinted boxes, ballot papers in certain areas of the country. Indeed, I believe that those of them who even contested class captain election, they do things like that. If you are saying that we should congratulate you that those things you were caught and they didn't find their ways into the ballot boxes, I can congratulate you. But you were supposed to have event-free election. Perhaps you were telling us that we generally don't have event-free election, but this time we have had event-free. So that is a congratulation. You want me to compare you to failure and congratulate you? It won't happen. So there's no need to congratulate them for event-free election. It's supposed to be event-free. So let's allow it. Let us all be happy. How many times have you seen someone calling the British Prime Minister or a British Prime Minister-elect to say that, congratulations for having event-free election? Because that's what is expected in a decent society, in a so-called democratic party that they tell us that they have. A democratic party where even journalists were told that you can't criticize our free SHS. A democratic party where chiefs were told you need to stand up and greet us. Years before, we saw people traveling with a whole Land Cruiser with a seat going up and down, and we don't have things like that. Hey, Kodjo, if we had allowed MPP one more year, I mean, someone said they would have sold Ghana. Yes, they would have sold Ghana, but dividing the money among themselves would have been the problem. So I beg you, let us manage the Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia you have. You have 2-3 years ahead of you. The job has been cut out for you. You have been there before. You have known it. In fact, he said a former president was rejected. A former president was one rejected, and he worked his way. Ghanaians were able to see the difference between value and fiction and realized that they sold their color TV to go and buy a fake black and white TV. So that will not happen again. So riding on the back of the fact that we contested laws, well, time is really a pregnant thing. Let's allow it. When time delivers, then we'll come back.
Right,
and we'll have that discussion.
Okay, Ishak, let me give you the final bite on this.
Yes. Let me correct some record. I do not owe him an apology. I mean, a phone call because I had nothing to correct because he misquoted me. What I said was that adding 1 cedi to the petrol was going to add further burden on Ghanaians. And that if you remove the betting tax and other things, that you increase fuel prices by adding tax to it, as well as tariffs, it was going to add further burden on Ghanaians. And it's true that the 1 cedi is a burden, isn't it? So that's the point I made some time ago. I still remember the point. But they said electing Bawumia was a wrong choice for MPP. If it was a wrong choice for the MPP, they have nothing to worry about. It's simple. It's a gift for them. Let Alan become president, or whoever the NDC wanted to pick, let the person become president. It's a gift for you. So I'm not sure why they are so worried that we have given them a gift. So that's a point to make for them. But look, let me assure you, yesterday I visited our flag bearer. I spent some time over there. I'm very hopeful that our unity has started. Because when I was there, I saw all members from all the camps, including especially my communication members. They were all coming over there, pledging their loyalty. In fact, Sunday I couldn't go over there. I understood the biggest crowd was Sunday. But yesterday, the crowd was phenomenal. So for me, I have no doubt that if they take Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia lightly, claiming that the MPP have such hateful things to each other and they are not going to be united, and they go to bed at their own risk. Okay. We are very happy and confident that come 2028, as he said, that the twice rejected John Mohammmed have done his homework. He was able to capture power again. There's nothing stop us from working hard. And they kept picking Bawumia as if he's an outsider. They kept saying he was handpicked by Akufo-Addo. Does it really matter whether he was handpicked or not? He's now the reality is that he's your political opponent. You face him. And now, was he handpicked again by Akufo-Addo? No. It was the good people of the MPP, 56%, thinks that he was a right person to say democracy. But he said that is not democracy. But here is a party that reminds us about their revolutionary past. That when it comes to violence, they have mastered it. And this is why we say so when you see Democrats doing something, they don't see the value in it. When we do it peacefully, because they have mastered violence, and there was no other person than the president who reminded us that. So for me, I am very hopeful of 2028.
Okay.
And as I told them, yes, conditions are now right. I do not doubt Musa Dankwa data, but I believe 2 years, the next 1 year, the data will be revised.
Okay.
Yes.
Could you a quick one?
The data will be revised. You've already had your say, Mr. You've already had your say.
He said, okay.
The
That's
data.
why I thought he has moved from you.
No.
Sorry.
The data will be revised. And the data will revise. And that's when you begin to panic. And you make a terrible choice. I believe all those choices they have presented so far, I think they are bad choices. But they could even be terrible choices. You make your choices and you see the comparison. Okay. And you have to remember that if you don't even take time, when you finish making your choice, your party will even be demolished. We have done it peacefully. Let's see how you end up.
Okay.
Just a quick one.
Yes, quick one.
Today is the birthday of the Deputy Minister of Agric.
Oh, John Dumelo.
John Seto Dumelo.
Oh, okay.
For Seto. Happy birthday to you. From the people you know. We wish you a pleasant new year and long life and prosperity. And may we wish you again next year at this time. Happy birthday.
Amen.
For the issues about Isha, currently, I mean, it pains and it's lonely being in opposition. So those are the attributes of people in opposition. It pains to be in opposition. It's lonely being in opposition. He would have wished he's even a cleaner in the office of a ruling party than to be a party chairman in opposition. So for those ones, let's not be. I mean, NDC without scandal, NDC with good economic management policies, NDC with stability at its front. I don't see what I've said it here that we are not boasting or boastful, we are not pompous, we are not arrogant. We will continue, focus, and do our job. And come 2028, there'll be reward.
Right, and let me start this with you, because even though the Supreme Court has given that decision on Pandai, the NDC is still not satisfied. Why?
I wish I have I'm looking for the information to give you, but I wish I had it. You see, I was deeply involved in the Akwetia election.
Yes.
The MPP presented a Gazette publication which was different from what we got from Assembly Press. The same thing panned out in the Pandai thing. I don't want to give out too much. And I can tell you that I personally petitioned CID to investigate the deceased Akwetia MP, which they did. They went to Parliament House, took his statement. The days were not ours. If he were still alive today, we would have been going to court. We wrote to Assembly Press. The Supreme Court asked Justin Amenuvo, Esquire, the EC lawyer, which of the Gazette notifications is the correct one? And he fumbled. And they used the same methodology to bring it into Pandai. So obviously, the people in Pandai who are aware that there were two different things. There were two different Gazette notifications. One was deposed to by the city MP to say that the petition was not ripe enough because the Gazette notification has not been published. It was rather this day. So NDC quickly withdrew. Then you use the one that you said was not the correct one to go to Supreme Court to say that is the correct one. See, ordinary person will be aggrieved. Secondly, the ordinary person feels that election petition moves from High Court and ends at Court of Appeal. But that was not what happened. It was the entire judgment that was quashed. And you don't have a bite at the apple more than once. You only bite the cherry once. So that era is gone. Yes, I've seen my brother, Roxanne Nelson Dapamepo Esquire, the majority chief whip, saying that they will seek review. Yeah. I know it's a tall order. But everything is possible. I mean, it's only a fool who doesn't change his mind. So the Supreme Court judges might change their mind when there's a review. But I believe that because the folks down there might not have understood that how come the Supreme Court can overturn something when it has not listened to the parties, as in like going through trial and being aware that the next line is appeal at the Court of Appeal, they are aggrieved. And mindful of the fact too that there were two different Gazette notifications. Yeah. Yes, let's be fair to them. They were aggrieved. And that the demonstration is a proper democratic tool to be used. Whether you like it or not, there's democracy all over the world, demonstrations all over the world. So that is my take on that.
Richard, Pandai.
Yeah, sincerely, I would first of all like to appeal to the conscience of the Pandai youth that look, they should let peace prevail. The likes of me, I sincerely want to believe that the decision of the Supreme Court is in order. Why did I say it's in order? Because look, in as much as we all know that the judgment is in the bosom of the judge or whatever it is, but for someone to be seeking a review on a certain number of polling stations which he tendered before you as a judge, no matter what you think of the subject matter, you should know that emotions and sentiments are also in the equation. And human sentiments must always override sometimes legal sentiments. So for you to just nullify an entire election and say, look, even though the man is seeking a review on certain number of polling stations, I, based on the information available to me, decide that let's rerun the entire election. I think the president would have been...
I think correct my brother.
Correct
there
me.
Was one of the reliefs sought.
So it was part of the relief.
Oh, yes.
Was one of the... To nullify the entire election.
They said that where they took the ballot boxes
to go and count, he wasn't there.
They were not there.
They said they took it to Tamale to go and count. He wasn't there.
Yes, so there was one of the reliefs.
Okay, so if that is the case, and the relief was granted, that nullified the entire election, I didn't know what went into the judge decision to nullify the entire election. But nevertheless, I am only of the view that once the issue has been taken to the Supreme Court, which you all know that is the apex court of the land, and per their own interpretation or assessment of the situation at hand, decided that let's quash the decision of the High Court of Tamale and declare it all, what do we call it, null and void, that we should still let the Pandai seat be in the seat of MPP. I think there is nothing wrong with, in my opinion.
Okay.
But because I want to leave that to NDC and their party followers to decide whether they are going to appeal it or not to appeal it. But the fact of the matter is that even if you win that extra seat, it is not really going to do any much difference. You already have the 2/3 majority in parliament. So for us to let sleeping dogs lie, let us just allow the man to continue his term. But I have also said that, look, in as much as we have a caveat on the presidential election, that if you have anything with the presidential, I think it's about 3 months, right? You have a 3 months grace period to do what? To file a petition at the Supreme Court. Yes, the same thing happens to the parliamentary election as well. But for a member of parliament to occupy a seat for about a period of 1 year, 1 year, thereafter you go and say that, oh, he's no longer a member of parliament, a persona non grata, or whatever it is, so you should go back and go and conduct the election. Look, it's a cost to the state, because the electoral commission going to organize that election, who pays for it is the cost to the state. So let us be mindful of some of these things, so that we say that at least everything should be a period of 3 months. After 3 months, if you are not able to seek remedy for whatever your grievances are, leave it at that and let the person continue to lead. I think that is my only submission on this matter.
Again, let's correct something.
Okay,
the 3 months thing he's talking about, it doesn't lie in the mouth or the bosom of the petitioner. It's a full court trial, and you know how matters travel.
No, I'm only proposing if we can look at it, so expedite it.
Yes, and again, there is no price as smaller than justice being sought. Yes, so again, as he said, it could be that there will be a policy direction to say that all election petitions should be dealt with within 3 months. Yes,
I'm just proposing.
Yeah.
Okay. Ishak.
Yes. I think with your permission, I want to look at it in a wider sense and then narrow it to Pandai. And I think if you look at what happened in Pandai, and not just Pandai but elsewhere, the NDC are more or less ungrateful for what they have so far.
Why do you say so?
Aside winning the presidency, you won massively about the parliamentary. Our flag bearer, then our presidential candidate gave you an early, he conceded early.
Yes.
And what did they do? They thought what they had was not enough for them. They visited the remaining police station that had not completed the process with violence. And their thing was that they needed more seats. It was for this reason that the Ablekuma more or less was overturned. They visited them with violence, destroyed certain things. And then recently, I heard Dr. Rashid Tanko, or should we still call him Dr. Rashid, with the fake PhD? He was in Sagani TV and other TVs in the north. And he said they had a strategy to snatch Pandai, Tolong, and other seats from the MPP now. So it's part of their wider strategy. It's not that they have a case. So when this Pandai issue went to court, we, the MPP, said that you have no case. And they insisted they have a case. The way the High Court judge conducted himself is already been criticized. And now the Supreme Court said that they have exceeded their jurisdiction.
Yeah.
We are yet to get the explanation. I think the judgment will come out on the 6th.
Yes.
But they said they have exceeded his jurisdiction. So we believe that it's just part of this wider NDC, how ungrateful they are to grab seats that they have not even won at the polling station. And as I say, elections are won at the polling station, not even the court. So you have used the High Court to grab that seat for you. And the Speaker didn't help either by just... Well, anyway, we already know he tried to steal Parliament in 2024 with them. So for me, the Supreme Court judgment is sound. And I will urge the NDC, don't put more stress on the guy by going for any review. Because you know review is a hopeless exercise. It's not 3-2, it's 4-1. And by convention, when there's going to be review, they're just going to add 2 additional judges. And it's very hard in a review. I mean, if you want to know, for them to change their mind in review is difficult. Look at the presidential petition, the legal gymnastic the respected Chachuchi Carter was doing. Whenever they make a decision, he asks for a review. The review is turned down. He asks for another review of the review. What happened? So history tells us that review is a wasteful exercise. And the guy already said, the very day he won the seat, you had given him so much pressure. We know most of these parliamentarians are BP. Why just waste the guy time and increase his BP? They are already stressed. Yes, I mean some of them admit to it. The pressure, the unnecessary pressure we put them. In fact, I've got a friend who admitted that most of them have BP machines. So why increase the guy's BP? Please allow him to rest. God has given you enough. There's no need to strategize to steal more extra seats. This is the reason why 2028, Ghanaians will reflect in this their behavior. Regardless of how many seats you give them, these are ungrateful bunch of people. They will snatch things that are not even belongs to them and then penalize them at the polls. So for me, yes, that's ungratefulness. You've won almost with 10 of parliament.
No, but it's democracy.
But is it really about the NDC's quest or about
belonging to one party?
Seeking justice?
Let me tell you
if they believe there is an injustice done.
The NDC youth of Pandai, they are doing it, getting inspiration from them. In fact, before you know, they organize them. What I would tell the youth of the NDC youth of Panda is that you can go and bend the seat. The Supreme Court is not going to bend to your wishes. We know they have been inspired by their political masters in Accra. It's not that these things are organized, getting funding from them. So don't just think it's a spontaneous demonstration. No, it's something organized and funded. Are you saying the youth over there are funding it? They are funding it from Accra. We know that.
You know that?
Oh, of
you
course.
have evidence to support that claim? Because the youth do not have an independent mind of their own to say that because we feel that there is something that has not been done well to us, we want to demonstrate, we can't demonstrate.
If you go to the north, Panda, I am from the north, if you ask them to do it, they are going to ask for funding. They are being funded. Who is funding them? It's the NDC masters in Accra. For me, what I would just tell them that what they are doing is a wasteful exercise. They can bend the sea, nothing will change. And the Supreme Court have had their say.
The internet doesn't forget. If there is ever any MPP demonstration in the north,
yes,
this tape will be
this particular demonstration telling Supreme Court
target.
I am from them, the NDC youth.
If you ask them to demonstrate,
they don't have
I didn't say the north. I said NDC youth in the north.
So they don't have any resources to organize demonstration by themselves.
Ishak,
my point is NDC. I'm not saying that every youth in the north. I said NDC youth in the north. They've got a budget. They sent you a budget. You have funded it.
Are you aware of that budget?
My advice. Listen.
How do you know? I want to know how you know.
I am telling you.
Because you are speaking with so much confidence.
Listen.
And so I'm asking you how you know.
Look, my substantive point is that they can go and bend the seat. The Supreme Court is not going to change it. I can assure them about that one. What they do at Pandai, the MPP youth is more than the NDC youth in Pandai. This translates into the voting. That's why we won the seat. So they can bend the sea in,
that seat has been a swing seat. It has been swing.
It doesn't, at this particular point in time, we are the majority. That's why we have won it. So whatever you say, United Party, I'm not really sure. It's like you were just formed to focus on MPP.
No, we are not focused. We follow issues.
They are in
we
government.
follow issues.
Focus on
United Party follows issues.
They are in
we
government.
don't want to be hypocritical on
I'm not
issues.
sure. They always direct the fire at the wrong party.
You see, Ghana's problem is that when they are objective,
Yeah.
you see, they have a playbook. And the playbook is that,
I
for
hope
instance,
you are really objective.
the playbook is that anything NDC does today, once you are in opposition, bastardize it, criticize it.
They have the power.
But you see, that's supposed not to be the way. If you want to build, I keep
Tell
asking,
me the last time
I keep
you ever
asking,
criticized any of the
I
opposition.
keep asking. Ever since we overthrew Kwame Nkrumah, you know Kwame Nkrumah, he built 400 factories from 1960 to 1966 when he had opportunity. Ever since we overthrew him, the two major parties, have they been able to do so? No. So at the end of the day, we the United Party, we are neutral. That's why we say we are a centrist party. We are in the middle. So if we do good, we will say it. If you do bad, we will say it. But don't not expect us to play to the gallery. That when NDC is doing something, because we are also in opposition, so we should team up with you and condemn government. Then when would you do something that is in the ultimate interest of the country?
Right.
So if NDC is doing well,
if
we
you are
support
doing it once a while, we understand. But
what
if all your time, your fire is focused on someone,
no, what is once a while? Have they gone?
It tells us the reason why.
So there's a focus on the NDC and talking about you.
Is there any major issue now that we need to bastardize NDC for?
You usually focus on government.
But it says there's nothing
what have they done for me
on.
to criticize
No,
them?
once a while you can look at your other opponent.
I always talk about
But
it.
if
But
all
it said
the time,
you cannot tell the party their strategy.
Of course, they know their strategy. Their strategy is focused on government, not even MPP.
Oh, what are you talking about?
We know their strategy.
What are you talking about, my senior brother?
But you're wasting your time. You are going to become like the Eagle Party.
Never. We are not an
The
appendage of any
Ghanaians are
political
discernible.
party.
They can see what you're
The
doing.
same way they are discerning and understanding that we from the United Party, we are being objective.
Focus
we are
your
speaking
fire
wisdom.
on them.
We are
Okay.
speaking words
Power,
of wisdom.
okay.
You see, Ghanaians are not interested in what, and if they have been in power for 1 year, us are now proud to NDC coming. But now every day we are talking about scandals upon scandals upon scandal. The whole of the 1 year of NDC, how many times have you been on radio or TV talking about a scandalous activity that NDC has involved itself in? They are very meticulous.
I'll
They are
be
measured
surprised
by
if
their
they are
doings.
funded by the NDC.
Oh,
I'll
come
be
on.
surprised.
And then NDC has a lot of money to be funding them.
Now, Ishak knows.
I'll be surprised if they are
Ishak
funded.
knows who funds who.
I'm not being funded by anybody.
When it comes to funding,
Because every day-
let's
No.
go.
Yeah, also,
No.
Yeah, but Theo, let me come back to you because you have an impending primaries as well in Ewaso East. Following the demise of Nasser Toure. How's that going?
Oh, it's going on well. All the candidates went through the vetting. I had a chance of speaking with a delegate over the weekend. My worry about whether the woman is doing the widowhood, etc.
Right.
For me, those are things we can go past.
Absolutely.
And I don't want to appear to be campaigning for my brother, Baba Jamal. He's a lawyer. In fact, he's a deputy director legal.
Yeah.
But I defeated him in a certain battle, so I always call him a loser. But it would be nice to have him.
Okay.
He's a very fine gentleman. Of course, he's currently our High Commissioner to Nigeria. So if he gets the nod, that will be quite good.
Okay.
Do we have to say, in quotes, do we have to reward widows or widowers when the husbands or wives lose? But it's becoming like a trend. When your husband dies, people will say, come and contest. Whether you have been political, whether you've just been the one just supporting your husband, it's becoming a thing that people are pushing. I don't know what goes into it. However, I would have been thinking, those are days for me to reflect, etc. Yes, there are also days for you to say that I want to carry the torch that my husband has been carrying. So, the Ayawaso election.
Yes.
I think MPP might not be. They said they will select. They won't do the.
Yes. They said the candidates who went in 2024 will just
go.
Yes.
I mean, looking at what we have in the country currently, that outcome is foregone. We know what to be like. Even if nobody funds anybody, there will be that one will go. So
okay.
to me, I was just a bit worried on one thing from Ishak about the fact that you have more seats and you are still looking for more. Biblically, we said that those who have more will be added. Those who don't have, the few they don't have will be taken away from them. That is what the Bible says. Secondly, when you were going to campaign, you were not saying that we were campaigning on just 100 seats. So give us 100 seats. After that, you can share the rest to anybody. No, that's not the thing.
Right.
Underpinning all this is that there were people who spent effort, resources, time, etc. on the election. And then you appear to be like, oh, we already have 100 and something seats, so forget. Let's throw this one away. Will you go there tomorrow to campaign? No, it won't even happen to MPP. Right. No political party will ever do that. So the idea that they are ungrateful, no, that is the beauty of democracy. One of the things Edu Jita-Mekuro,
I hope we have time for us to also comment on Ayawaso.
Yes, you
comment. I mean, take Ayawaso even there. One of the things Edu Jita-Mekuro was saying when people were looking more at this MPP primary is that let us pray that we don't have a one-party state. Let us pray for a healthy MPP so that our democracy will grow. Okay. For that reason, I applaud my director of legal. So the idea that you have seats, so why are you going? You are ungrateful. No,
it's democracy.
The people who said they are apostles of democracy are telling us that you are ungrateful because you are practicing democracy.
Let me come to you, Ishak.
Gio always misrepresent what I say to fit his context. I'm talking about the ungratefulness stem from the fact that something you have earned legitimately and you are using illegitimate means to get something else. That's what I'm talking about, being ungrateful. If you are using legitimate means, that's different. So for the Iowa, so when I heard about how the NDC have treated the widow, it was quite unfortunate. At least the NDC has got, I mean, you've always gotten majority of your vote from the Muslim community. I mean, huge votes from the Muslim community. One would have thought that you would have been more understanding about Muslim customs and traditions. Among the custom and tradition is that if your partner, if it loses your partner, you have to be more or less in isolation to contemplate for a number of days.
Right.
And this one should have been more understanding. It does not mean that the fact that you are in such a situation, you should be excluded from the political system. So she has interest in the political system, and the process is going to kick on.
So what do you want the party to do to her?
Let me come.
No, what do you want the party to do to her? Teach the people properly the Muslim practices. The reason why you are supposed to be in isolation is for the fact that...
Oh, you don't know.
I know.
But just plan on that for me, because we need to go. So
I don't know.
It
is to show that
it's my time. You've always, it's my time.
You attack my party. It is to show that when you become pregnant, then they will say that within that period you didn't make
it. Even COVID-19, because of this thing we respected, they need to respect Muslim practice and tradition.
Okay.
It's clearly shown they are very insensitive when it comes to that. There's nothing wrong. Zoom is clear. Even here, we're able to connect via Zoom. In NPP primaries, I remember very well Musa Superior, he was in London with us. They did his vetting via Zoom. Do you understand that? He was abroad. He could have.
So your point is that the party should be able to accommodate all of that.
Modern technology works very well. But they refuse it simple because they don't respect such a tradition. It's high time the Muslim community wise up. Are they really this is the right party to be in bed with?
Let me give the last word to Richard briefly.
Just my senior brother said something that they pray for NPP, they want to have a healthy opposition and all those things. I want to appeal to the NDC that they should pray for the United Party. Because you see, the United Party, we are the most objective opposition party. Like I say, we don't play to the gallery. We talk about substance and value. Things that is in the ultimate interest of the country. So the NDC, if they should pray, and pray for a better opposition party, it should be the United Party that they should pray for it to be a better, formidable, well-organized party that we can dislodge the NPP and send them into complete abyss. Now,
I think they are not praying for you because they think you are a joke.
Oh, no, Richard, make a point. We are out of time.
It doesn't matter. Even in every society now, the jokes are becoming more successful and richer. Having to see so many jokers becoming more richer than the intelligent
do a prayer for him.
So what I'm saying is that I was so thin, myself to my only observation with that was that I would have also wished that the NDC gives the woman the opportunity to do the virtual vetting.
Okay.
Because you see, like he himself said, that yes, it is all. If you look at the profile of the woman, you realize that she's not a novice in the political space. She's also an active participant in politics. Therefore, it will be proper or prudent for her to decide to do or take over from the husband.
Right.
In as much as we know that that trend is not good enough, if not so, people will start poisoning each other in homes in order for me to take over from you. But if on the proper objective one,
right,
for which reason the husband died, and she is offering herself to continue the works of the husband, I would have also wished that FDC at least be a bit flexible,
okay,
and make sure that they give the woman the opportunity
they are insensitive
to be able to get vetted and get the nod.
Okay.
And for Baba Jamal to look, don't be chasing every seat everywhere.
Okay,
Ali,
so
we
that's
recently defeated Nasutia, and now we are running back to
Suma, he is with the UP, Isha Ibrahim, NPP, and of course, Theophilus Jumega Jr. Esquire, who is with the NDC. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming, and do have a lovely week. This is still GH Today here on GH1 Television. We'll be right back.
of prayer, when we need to pray, where we need to pray, and how often we need to pray. My guest this morning is the senior pastor of Telio Ministries Worldwide. He's Reverend Som Fianco. Good morning, Rev. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you too, and thanks for having me.
You're most welcome.
Yes.
You started some 11 years ago.
Yes.
Today, the Christian faith has evolved to the extent that many now openly criticize the Christian faith.
That's true.
For you, where you sit, how does that make you feel?
I believe that people genuinely have a cause for all these criticisms, because sometimes when you sit back to look at some of the things that are going on, it's disheartening. And so some people have genuine reasons, but I also believe that it's time we begin to know who we call a pastor and who is really not a pastor. You understand?
How can we decipher?
Oh, by using the yardstick of God's word.
Okay.
You understand? Because you will never find people called into ministry who are not trained. I mean, Jesus had to train his disciples for 3.5 years before sending them out. You understand? Paul had to get time to study, and senior apostles. So sometimes when out of nowhere people call themselves what they are not, and then sadly they are added into the fraternity of pastors and other things, then the criticisms begins. And yet some of them, you can't trace their roots, you can't trace who raised them, you can't trace what their background is, and it becomes sad. But we are a Christian nation, so it's and freedom of speech, and so
Now let's talk about prayer.
yes,
Even the Lord, Jesus Christ himself,
Yes.
taught us how to pray.
exactly.
The essence of prayer in certain times. Why do we need to pray always? Do we have to pray only when we're in need?
Okay.
Do we have to pray when we wake up, when we're going to bed? Is it mandatory that as a Christian who believes in the tenets of Christianity, you pray throughout the day?
All right, so let me approach it from 3 different perspectives. The first one is God wants to relate with us like a father and a child, father-daughter, father-son relationship. And none of us will be very happy if we have kids who only come to us when they need something. You understand? Your mom would want to build that relationship with you. Your dad wants to be there through your graduation, wants to be there and everything. That's what a good father does. And so prayer is a communication between us and God, where God has a relationship with us. We see that with the first man, Adam. He was always having a visitation of the Lord. God would just visit him and they would just commune. So it's a communication. We stay in touch with our Heavenly Father. So that's the first one. And then the second one, lack of prayer is an indication of the fact that we do not need God. Whenever we are prayerless, we are just saying that we can do it. But the problem with that is the world is made up of the physical and the spiritual. Things are not just natural. The natural is actually controlled by the spiritual. Paul said in Ephesians chapter 6 that we are not wrestling against flesh and blood, but against powers, rulers of darkness, and principalities. And so the world is more spiritual than natural. You understand? So when we attack life from natural perspective without prayer, without enforcing the supernatural, then we are in trouble. And sometimes that's why we wait until we get into problems and issues. When we really build our prayer life, certain things are there that will not be affected. Like there are things that are dealt with even before they happen. You understand? There are things that are dealt with even before they happen at the place of prayer if we are consistent in our prayer. We don't wait for it to happen before we attack it. We attack it before it even happens because our prayer life is very consistent. Yeah.
You have written a book on prayer.
Yes.
Titled The School
Of Prayer.
Why? I mean, we pray all the time. Why put it in a book? And what's contained in this book?
Yes, especially with us from West Africa, we understand the praying of prayer. We do not understand the teaching or the studying of prayer.
How?
For example, prayer is not just a verb. You understand? Prayer is not just we waking up and praying. The understanding of prayer is more important even than the action of prayer. That is why you find people during working hours who are praying. All right? So if I have a company and I find you praying at working hours, I will not discourage you, but I will sack you.
Really?
Oh, yes.
Why?
I won't discourage you because I want you to pray. But the problem is that you are praying at the wrong time.
Okay.
Why? Because imagine you being prayerful, me being a man of God, and I go to a bank and I need money for my wife. Probably she's in the hospital, maybe she's in labor, maybe I have to pay for hospital bills. And I go there and I find the tellers and the workers at the bank saying that they are spiritually praying. And no one is there to give me my money to go and save my wife. I will not be happy.
Okay.
So prayer is very important, but understanding prayer is far more important than just praying. That's why we find people praying at odd hours. That's why we find people praying at different hours, because people do not have an understanding of prayer. When you read James chapter 4 verse 3, the Bible said we pray and not receive because we pray wrongly. We pray amiss. When you read Luke chapter 11 verse 1, Bible said after some time when the disciples discovered the results that Jesus have had through prayer, they went to him and said, teach us to pray as John taught his disciples.
Right.
Two people, Jesus and John, to let us know that Jesus taught his disciples prayer. Even John, who Jesus met, you understand, also taught. So prayer was a teaching. When to do it, how to do it, where to do it, when not to do it. So it's very important people come to the understanding. That's why this masterpiece have been put together on prayer to help Christians come to an understanding of what prayer entails, how to pray it well, how not to pray it well, what not to do, when not to even pray. So that
Are you then against churches that operate during the day on weekdays?
Not entirely, because we live in a society where people are unemployed.
Sure.
You understand? Many people are unemployed, and prayer is a way you can find whatever you're looking for. Matthew 7 verse 7 says, ask and it shall be given unto you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be open. John 14:14 says, if you shall ask anything in my name, I will do it. So if I find that I'm not active, I'm not working, if I find out that I'm not occupied with any duty, responsibilities, and I will spend time in church, there is nothing wrong. But I have a problem with if we have responsibilities and we neglect them, all in the name of wanting to go and pray, or all in the name of church. I really have a problem with that.
Who is this book for?
The book is for every believer, specifically pastors. You know, the Bible says, strike the sheep and strike the shepherd and the sheep will scatter. And so I believe that many pastors, like I said from the beginning, many pastors should be trained in the concept and the knowledge of prayer so that they in turn can also teach others. But it's for every believer out there who seeks to grow in their knowledge on prayer and have more understanding. And more specifically, like the book said, be able to have 100% answers guaranteed to your prayer life.
That's quite an interesting one. 100% answers
it's
guaranteed.
Possible.
I like the fact that you say it's possible.
Yes.
Is it possible that the moment I pray, my answer is guaranteed within a specific time frame? Or it is according to what God wants to do?
No. Prayer can be instant.
Okay.
Yes. Just that there are requirements. Like I said from the beginning, imagine you don't build a relationship with your biological father and you need something, and because you need something, out of nowhere you approach him. He will know that really you are using him. You understand? So
not to cut you,
yes.
if I have a relationship with my
exactly.
father, and let's say we don't constantly talk, but maybe once in a while I visit, but we don't communicate. So I asked this on the back of this. Yes. Some people don't really pray as much, but they say they have a relationship with God. They help the church, they build churches, they help pastors. Is that also not a relationship? But they don't pray as much. And so when they find themselves in fixes, then they run to God. Is that not? Can we guarantee that as a relationship with God?
No, that cannot be a relationship with God. It has to be a constant constant communication. And let's think about it. What does it take to pray? That's one of the things that this book deals with. You understand? It does not take much to pray in the car, whilst you're driving, in the night, on your bed. That's one of the misconceptions that book deals with. People think that you need church. People think that you need specific times. In the car to your workplace, you can be praying. Back to the house, you can be praying. Moments of gisting at workplace, you know, the empty spaces where you go on break, even in the washroom. You understand? Yes, a point came in my life where I read almost 300 books a year, and I have people who ask me questions. And I tell them that one of the best places to read is in the washroom. No matter how busy you are, sometimes you spend 15 minutes, 20 minutes in the washroom, and we use it for nothing. You understand? And so prayer can be done everywhere. And that is one of the things that we have to understand. If we do that, we will not really have any excuse as to why we are not praying. Because God is not asking us to be in a church, quote unquote, before we can pray. We don't need an all-night service to pray. He's in your room, he's on your bed, he's in the car, he's at your workplace, he's even in the washroom. So everywhere we find ourselves, if we want to pray, we can pray.
Okay. So you say 100 answers guaranteed.
Yes.
If I don't pray,
yes,
and there's a prophecy on my life,
yes,
will it come to pass?
No. There are two kinds of prophecies. There are ones that are conditional, and there are ones that are not conditional.
Okay.
There are certain things that God in his sovereignty wants to do it because of mankind. You see, when you read Romans chapter 5 verse 8, Bible said, whilst we were yet sinners, Christ came to die for us. The death of Christ, no prayer could have averted it, or no prayer could have empowered it. It would happen. But there are certain things concerning our destiny that it would take prayer. That's why Paul said, concerning the prophecies that you received, war a good warfare. It becomes very important that you war a good warfare so that what you are received will come to pass. So prayer is very cardinal in speaking about prophetic manifestation. Yes.
Okay. So if a prophecy, if a pastor or a man of God prophesies upon my life,
yes,
and it doesn't come to pass, what does that mean?
Prophecy is not the end itself. It's a means to an end. When prophetic words are given, there are specific things that ought to be done for this prophecy to manifest. And that is why it is very important that when a prophecy is given, both the person involved and if he has a relationship with the man of God should ask what are the steps to take to get there. It's very, very important. You will discover that Isaiah, the prophet of God, and Isaiah is a prophet. When he prophesies, you can't doubt. Isaiah is the one that spoke about Jesus as though he walked with Jesus. Some theologians believe that Isaiah, his book, should be the 5th book of the gospel.
Okay.
He spoke concerning Jesus as though he walked with him. Now, this is Isaiah, the prophet, a dangerous prophet, goes to a king and tells the king that your time is up. God wants you to die. The king can cry, the king can do everything and say, okay, let me accept this, a man of God. But he understood the power of prayer. So he goes into prayer, and through prayer and certain things that he had done before, giving records and insisting on through prayer, God sent another word to change the prophecy.
Okay.
Yes. So through prayer and other means, prophecies can
What do you make of the whole fiasco involving Prophet Bernard Nelson Ishen, politics, and him taking a 1-year hiatus?
I don't want to lie, and Prophet Bernard is my father. Yes, I stayed.
I understand.
Yes, I stayed with him. He paid my school fees. Yes. So he's my father, and so because of that, I would want to say that his stand, I want to support him, and just be quiet about it. Yes. My bias is with him, fully with him. No. I wouldn't lie. He's my father. He's been a good man. He's been to my house. He's prayed for my kids. He's been to my church when our church was very little. I call him all the time. He picks. He's my father, and I am with him. Yes. When you go to Facebook right now, his pictures are all over. I love him.
So you support the decision to take a 1-year hiatus?
No, I don't know if he said 1 year, but he said he wants to speak with, take counsel from his fathers and just stay off the pulpit for some time. And I believe that's the right thing to do.
Okay.
Yes.
Where can people get your books, by the way?
The books, especially because of digital means, you can find it on Amazon or seller.com. But the easiest way is to send a WhatsApp message to +233 240 545700.
Again?
Yes, +233 240 545700. Or maybe I should use remove the +233. Yes, yes, 0240 545700.
Okay.
0240 545700.
Okay. You have other books, don't you?
Yes, I have
This is
about
your 8th book?
Yes, this is my 8th book. Yes.
That's nice. So,
Yes.
for those of you who want to pray more this year, I mean, we've started the year, 1 month gone already, but you want your answers guaranteed, please buy the School of Prayer book. How much does it cost? 50 cedis.
Yes.
So you see, it's a 50 cedis book.
But it's higher on Amazon and seller.com,
Okay,
obviously.
okay. You get to learn how to pray, where to pray, and when to pray. That's Reverend Som Fianco. He is the senior pastor of Tell You Worldwide Ministries. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you. I am back after this video. We'll talk about Nkoko Nkiti. Stay with me. It was launched last year, and many are asking questions about it. The idea is to feed Ghana. How do we do this? Where are we? What does the average Ghanaian seek to benefit from this particular project? My guest this morning is the National Coordinator of the National Broiler Project Directorate under the Office of the Minister in charge of Special Initiatives. His name is Kelvin Okan. Good morning, Kelvin. How are you?
Good morning. Very well, thank you.
It's good to see you.
Likewise.
The National Broiler Project under the Nkukwan project, right? What's this all about? Okay, we want to feed Ghana, but talk to us. What your directorate is doing different from what the Ministry of Agric is doing? Is it coterminous with what the ministry is doing?
Okay, so well, it's good we make this clarification. The Ministry of Agric, you know, is controls or is mandated, you know, to run the entire agriculture ecosystem, for which they provide policy directions and then as well support system for farmers, you know, ensuring that we meet our food security target. However, our office is a specialized, you know, office, you know, with focus in ensuring that the broiler market, you know, we're able to achieve our set goal. Given that we consume a lot of chicken meat compared to that of Nigeria. Looking at our size, yes, Ghana is about 30-something million. Nigeria is over 200, you know, plus million. However, Ghana consumes more chicken than Nigeria, so it tells you that it is an area that we have to put some focus, you know, or put some highlight on. And for that matter, that is why His Excellency the President thought it wise that, well, let's do something remarkable with this in Nkukwan. However, let's set up an office that will be able to fast track, you know, a development as well as entire, you know, restructuring the poultry, you know, broiler industry. So it's specifically with the broiler industry.
Okay. But why did it take so long for the launch? I mean, if for anything at all, Nkukwan is one of the things that resonated with a lot of Ghanaians.
Right.
Before the NDC came into office,
Right.
during the campaign season, it was all about Nkukwan.
Yes.
But the NDC comes into power and then it takes almost a year to launch it.
You know, the reset agenda is not like a fast train moving, you know, too fast, you know, and going nowhere. The reset agenda is, you know, looking forward to sustainability and then as well as enhancing of some of our projects or needs. And zooming down to Nkukwan, well, we had to ensure that we're able to develop, you know, not just the policy, how we can get it done. As at last year, we embarked on quite a number of pilot projects, you know, for which we produced 50,000 birds. Beyond that, we did feed trial, you know, programs with Binary, and we engaged CSIR, you know, on how to get the right feed for our birds and then to be able to achieve our ultimate goal. So, I mean, behind your I mean, on your screen, you can see some of the birds, you know, that we're going to slaughter and process for the market. So it is not a case that it took so long. It's about preparation and ensuring that it doesn't become a rhetoric, you know, statement or, you know, one of those policies, but something that it can be sustained.
You know, the insatiable need of Ghanaian is for foreign products.
Right.
How are you going to ensure that Ghanaians consume what we're going to breed in Ghana?
Well, luckily, Ghanaians have become very health conscious, and we're concerned about what we eat and what we consume. And like the president said, you know, we don't want, you know, our people to continue to consume in Nkukwan and all that. So, well, we've put in place quite a number of strategy. The production bit, the processing bit, and then as well as the market aspect. The market aspect, we have two legs. We have one which we're looking forward to set up cold chains, you know, per almost every constituency. We're piloting
what people call the cold stores.
Right. You know, we're piloting in Kumasi in collaboration with the mayor of Kumasi. Okay. We are getting an office in Kumasi, you know, to get it up and running. And when that becomes successful, we believe that almost every constituency, you know, should be able to have some. But let me make this clarification because, you know, I'm on air. When you say every constituency would have it,
then the people will be looking at 276.
Yeah, the notion would be government is going to, no, it is a public-private partnership arrangement. Okay. So if you're within certain jurisdiction or constituency and you have resource and you want to partake or you want to find a business to do, government is giving you this opportunity to own one.
So what does government give? What does the private sector bring?
So with that,
so people understand if they want to come.
So with that, we're bringing in the space, okay, you know, and then we've modeled a beautiful structure, you know, for which the private sector would have to invest in the infrastructure, you know, development, and then as well, we are also ensuring that the feed. You know, you get a feed, which is the supply of the beds from looking at our program.
You also have other initiatives, like the corporate initiative.
Yes, so with the corporate welfare, you know, program that we have, we're looking forward to save the corporate worker, you know, some few hundreds of cedis. By that. We in collaboration with the NIB and our Greek Development Bank, we have a specialized program where the corporate worker can, you know, buy a box of chicken, box or two, depending on, you know, your salary. You can buy as much as 10 and defer it, you know, for 3 months before you pay. So let me give you a typical example. For instance, you have a box of chicken going for 600 Ghana cedis. Of course, organic, so the price will not be like the Nkoko phone. 600 Ghana cedis. The bank is saying that we will pre-finance on your behalf. And then you pay 200 Ghana cedis from your salary every month for the next 3 months. So that 400 cedis gap, what it means is that you can use that 400 Ghana cedis to do other things that ordinarily you would not have that 400 cedis to do. It might look like maybe a bit minute, not too much, but multiply 400 Ghana cedis by 1 million workforce. That's about 400 million Ghana cedis, which will go into other projects, you know, developmental projects, you know, personal project that concerns the public worker. So what is government doing? Government's lowered, what's the name, the dollar to cedi. You know, government is also looking, using this program to ease the burdens of corporate, you know, workers, you know, and getting them a healthy chicken to eat.
Okay. So how do they sign up for this?
So, well, as we speak now, we're still in the kitchen piloting
so
with the bank.
Phase.
With the banks, we're selecting some institution to start with. Now, if the pilot proves successful, which I believe it will, you know, be successful, we would then roll it out, you know, we'll scale it up, you know, and it has to be matched with the production of the bird.
In Ghana, we know that poultry import is about 70 to 95%, right?
Right.
What's your target in 1 year after you've done with your piloting phase? What's your target? How much are you going to reduce this by? Because that's the target of His Excellency the President.
Yes, that's true. So I remember, this brings me back to when my team and I, Kweku Benya, Alvin and co, we met with His Excellency the President, and we're having a discussion on this poultry. And the President was like, we have to be able to get to this target. Now, we've been tasked to ensure that we produce the 160 million birds, you know, within the time frame. How we do it, we're still pushing and working to ensure that not just deliver that, but the sustainability aspect of it, which is very critical to us. You know, His Excellency has tasked us that this project must stand the test of time. So in the next 20 years or so, we're looking forward for Nkukwan Kitinkiti to stay. And that is why...
So that's your target, 20 years?
Not 20 years.
Okay.
No, what we are looking forward to do, to be able to achieve that in the next 3 to 4 years.
Okay.
You know,
so by 2028?
2028, we should be able, 2028, 2029, we should be able to achieve that. This year, we're looking forward to do 18 million. Okay. With the 18 million, it's not just the Nkukwan Kitinkiti office.
Okay.
We're going to have collect all the small farmers, you know, put them all together in a pool for us to be able and have a database for us to be able to produce that 18 million. The subsequent year, which is 2027, we want to scale it up. By that time, we understand the dynamics. We'll be able to use our softwares and systems, you know, to keep it going. Now, when we're able to do that, then I bet you we should be able to do at least about 60 to 80%
reduction.
Yes.
Okay.
It is very possible. So the reason I tell you it's very possible is look at the Ghanaian workforce.
Okay.
Right? If you look at the Ghanaian workforce, if people understand or get to know that when I produce my bed, I have a processing plant that I can take it to. It means there will be a rush. A lot of people will produce. Okay. Because when they produce, the processing plant is there to buy. The processing plant is also very confident that the cold stores, the cold chains that we have created, they would also have, you know, they'll pick it up from them because they'll off-take. Beyond that, you have the corporate worker welfare. They would also have a pool. So there will be a huge demand, you know, or market created, you know, within the same thing. So our office or government will not be the only one, you know, coming in with that investment. Private sector, you know, participation would come in. I was telling one of your colleagues earlier on that we've started engagement with some key persons, you know, within the country who we call, you know, go to, you know, big pockets, individuals like Kwame Despite, you know, Ofori Sapon, you know, and all the other people who are in Ghana. We're saying that this project is not just a government project. This project is about Ghana. This project is something that we feel that all Ghanaians should participate. If you were to do, there are so many spaces that they can participate in. So yes, it is not just myself and my team, our responsibility to make sure we reach that 180 million. It's a collective effort. Right. And that collective effort also brings about the importers, you know, bringing the importers on board. We are leaving nobody out of, you know, we are bringing everybody on board. Hopefully, we'll be able to reach our goal. We say, inshallah, we should be able to reach our goal.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
We wish you well.
Thank you.
I'm sure by mid-year, we'll come back to you, have a conversation on where you are. I know you're in the pilot phase, so we'll give you some respite. Right. And then by mid-year, we'll come back and see where you are on your target 18 million. Right. So that's Kelvin Okwuan. He is the National Coordinator for the National Broiler Project Directorate, which is under the Office of the Minister for Special Initiatives. Let's do some celebrations now.